Hello. I fooled you, didn't I? You didn't think I was going to come on, but I decided to come on. Welcome to this edition of AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm going to be dealing with part 2 of Nipsey Hussle. What I do? Nipsey Hussle, Strawman, Aretha Franklin, Prince. Yeah, because that's what I've been dealing with. Prince and a couple of other people. So I didn't want to tell you I was definitely coming tonight, but I knew I was going to come soon. Thank you. I love the hearts because I wanted to surprise you. I've been working on this reading ever since I saw you the other night. Thank you for the hearts. I love the hearts. Hi, beautiful Nova. Hi, Candy. Hi, Granda. I want to show you my outfit. You like it? Let me get up. Let me try. Isn't that cute? Look at there. Oh, yes. I felt like being really I felt like being adventurous. I even got some earrings on, child. I love her. See, like that? I never wore anything like that. The zigzaggies. I am so proud. I can put my zigzag. And you see, I don't know if you can see the back of that. You see that? You like it? Do you like it? You like it? Hi, haters. Y'all like it? Okay, women. Now, y'all got to be getting some sexy stuff now. Especially if you got a man, you got to be sexy for your man. And if you don't, like me, if you're single, then you got to keep yourself up. I think it's very important. Whatever man, the type of man that you're interested in, you got to make sure that you're that type of woman. You can't get upset if a particular man's not interested in you if you're not bringing what attracts him. So you keep asking me, even the men keep asking me about more vagina power shows, more penis power shows. So I'm going to do more of those. Okay. Thank you, Nova. And I don't know if you want me to tell Nova, but I want to shout out everybody that's donated to me. And Nova is been with me a long time. And Nova always takes care of me. Nova looks out for me. So I want to thank her for that. And I want to thank everybody. You all don't know how much it means to me. I don't care. Some people send me $2. Some people might have $5. Some people, may have $10 and tell me, I love you. I want to support you. That's all I can do right now until my payday. Let me tell you something. I appreciate everybody that donates to me. I love the hearts. Thank you so much. Those make me feel so good. When I'm so tired and worn out, I love the hearts. But I love everybody. I don't put down any amount that people send to me from my heart, because you could take that $1, $2, buy you some candy, you know what I'm saying, save to apply it to some rent or gas. That's your money. And you can, hey Nina, ATL, shout out a piece of A-Town Down, A-Town Down in this whole piece of A-Town Down, shout it. ATL, shout it. Shout out to LA. Who is it? NYC. All the people that love me in ATL. Thank you, Granda. Call out the other states where y'all want to shout me out, because I get a lot of shout outs from LA. And that means a lot to me. And I get shouts out from Atlanta. Oh, but two, I'm glad. Thank you for giving me like 2 weeks after your order. Thank you for people that love me and patient with me and have ordered from me. I'm so excited. I work by myself, you guys, so I don't like anybody to touch my stuff. I make all the orders myself. I like to make each individual jar different, and once somebody tells me they have a dandruff problem, a eczema problem, a dry scalp problem, a dry hair, damaged hair problem, all of the butters are made different. The shampoos are made different. The oils are made different, depending on what the condition is and the type. You have thick hair, coarse hair, like type 4A, 4B, 4C. That's what's considered so-called kinky, nappy, very dry, very difficult to deal with hair. And I'm telling you all, you got to learn to love your hair. Thank you, Arnold. And pay a lot of attention to it. Wet it every day, spritz it, moisturize it. You got to condition that hair and change the texture of it if you're not used to combing and loving your hair every day, because you get frustrated with it or you may not like it. But, I'm going to do another whole show on that one. So I put a lot of energy and a lot of effort and a lot of love into everything that I make, and I send it to you and send just a lot of peaceful energy, a lot of blessing energy to you because you bless me. So I hope you feel it when you get those products, and I just appreciate you, California, Nina. Thank you. Neighborhood. We're here again repping beautiful neighborhood, NIPSEY. Let me get to it. I'm going to try to, oh yeah, and if anybody's interested in a reading from me, whether it's 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour, you can contact me in my email, AlexyssKTylor, vp@gmail.com. Let me tell you about this reading because it's pretty heavy, it's pretty deep, and it's pretty weird. I couldn't, oh, thank you for the hearts. I love the bundles of hearts. Thank you, Nikki. You like my outfit, girl? My zigzaggies. I had to learn to put the zigzag thing in there. But I saw it, and I thought it was so sexy, and it was so different. I've never worn anything like this before. So I wanted to try it, and I put it on. I'm like, that's cute. That's, my little girl. I'm healing my wounded inner child, and she likes the sparkly. So at this point, I'm allowing myself to heal and embrace and accept every part of me. So this is what she wanted to wear. So that's what it is. I've tried to. I really try to love me now. I spend a lot of time honoring and respecting me. Let me tell you something. This is that me, y'all, or do y'all see the energy coming from NIPSEY's candle? Do you see that? It looks like a, oh yeah, see? It looks like a ray. I got two things. I didn't have the bigger, I had two big blue ones, but one went down, so I just put the white right there. But do you, tell me if you see that? You see that from Neighborhood's candle? Do you see that ray like coming out of there? Or is that just, am I the only one that sees that? Isn't that pretty? It's sexy from the back too, though. I mean, it doesn't have a hole in the back, but I just love the way it fits and it feels so good. My skin is so soft. I love soft things. Let me tell you, I hope I went through it. I didn't watch the whole video back again when I was trying to tell you what JFK was saying, John F. Kennedy Jr. I thought it was pretty deep what he was saying. I would love to talk to him more because I couldn't believe he's not a racist person. He's not a prejudiced person. He was very open with me. And basically, when he was talking about Abraham Lincoln signing the Emancipation Proclamation, he said that because even Abraham Lincoln made statements that he really didn't care for black people. And he didn't feel that black people should... Oh, you see it, Tommy? Or is that when you said I do? You see what I'm talking about with that candle? I don't know why it's doing that. There's nothing special. The lighting, everything is the same. But they do what they want, so I let them do it. I showed the back. You can't see you see the back. It's like it's a whole... It's like, you see how it's sparkly? It's all sparkly. I should have maybe changed my stockings and put like a flesh tone. But I don't know. I'm trying to think. Can you see it? Like the coochie and everything. Isn't that cute? Okay. I'm being naughty. I'm gonna stop it. All right. When JFK Jr. said that Abraham Lincoln did not really like black people, and he felt that black people should not mix with white people, and that when he put out the higher ups, the Masonic, the very powerful elite Masons, he wanted to be a part of the Masons, but JFK Jr. told me from talking to the higher level white Masons, they did not... What'd you say badly, I think he did self-hate because I think that Abraham Lincoln had some black in him. I think he was a mixed person that passed for a white person. This is what JFK Jr. is telling me, that he was what he called Magellan or something like that. I think a lot of them were up in Tennessee. And it was never discussed. But then when I look at him, I can kind of see that. And even Abraham Lincoln is not happy right now because he did not become a master mason into the elite system. Thank you, Arnold. They did not accept him. So he kind of got tricked, but at the same time he was trying to get in, but did not completely get in. And he, how do they say, it's like when he sent the message out to free black people from slavery, he really wasn't freeing them from slavery. When he was saying one thing to the public, he was saying another thing to the elite. So, and because they gave him the instructions to send it to the elite. So when he's saying free them, let them be free and have everything they want, it really was saying to the elite, it was a separate language. It was a different language. So you're saying the same thing, or it sounds like you're saying the same word, but it has a different meaning when you're dealing with the Masons. When he's saying let them free, what the language meant to the Masons was, we're going to now take the game of slavery to a higher level, and we're going to flip it on them, so they will never be equal, they will never be free, they will never be given back the lands we stole from them. We know they're not all from Africa. We know a lot of them were already native and freemen here, owning this property, and were Moors traveling all around the world on ships, master seamen, master navigators of the whole world, because Columbus didn't even know how to get here. He got lost. The Moors were navigators and master seamen. They had to show him how to get here. He thought the earth was flat and he would fall off. So these were the original rulers of the world and masters of the world. But they told all of them, and taught all of us, we all came from Africa on ships, but that's a lie. A lot of our ancestors were already here, and the black Indians were already here, and then they actually moved them, took them there, and then say you came from there, and switched them around and then brought them back here. Y'all, there's so much confusing about our history that we don't know, and they're not telling us, or they tell us a lot of lies to keep everything upside down. So the evil ones rule. That's right, seamen and seamen. Vessel, and vessel like a ship, which the mother in the navel is the vessel that gives the baby life and that she carries it in. This is so much stuff we don't know, and it's going to take us years to master it and to know. So when JFK Jr. was saying it, I knew JFK knew, because his family is one of the elite family, one of the ruling families of the world. However, JFK Jr. was not a part of the elite because he did not want to be one of the elite. He did not take all of the Baphomet oaths to be in that system. At least that's what JFK Jr., hey beautiful cat, Jr. is saying to me. And that's one of the reasons why he was eliminated, because and then he also said, that's right, kind of court docs, shipping docs, are all a part of this Moorish law and this science that our people had first, that they stole and then basically enslaved the minds and the knowledge of the people. JFK Jr. told me to look out right now. He said there was going to be, and also NIPSEY was saying 2008. Remember last time I said the 2008 collection that his second baby mothers was selling with another company, God something, or somebody's name of the company. And he said it's going to be another crash like 2008 to trick the people and flip everything upside down, so that people of color never get ahead and never realize their power and stand in their knowledge and know who they are. And then JFK Jr. said the same thing. He said, and it's controlled by WASP, W-A-S-P, White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. And he said they are still in effect and they're still ruling. And then he said some of these orders come directly from England, the blue blood English, and Rome. He said it comes down from there, and they really rule the U.S. That's what JFK is telling me, that they rule the U.S. This is not what we think it is. So I don't want to read it over if I read it, because I didn't watch the whole reading again, but it was important to me. So I wanted to go back over it when NIPSEY was talking about the straw man, because JFK Jr. also talks about the straw man. I did not completely get to Sam Davis Jr. yet, but I'm going to get to him for the next one, because it was too much. Because I spent the past, I spent all day and all night on Prince last night, And to really see what I was getting, I listened to the whole album Purple Rain. And I want to tell you that I had a hard time listening to Purple Rain. Purple Rain, like the Nasty Prince, was my goddamn favorite ass motherfucking Prince. When Prince came out there with them goddamn bikini drawers on, slid and wedged all up in his goddamn yellow ass with them high heel goddamn boots, twisting around with no goddamn shirt on, and like he's scripting on the pole. Yeah, Bash, I'm gonna get into that shit. I was like, goddamn, I'm like, who the fuck is this nigga right here? This half-breed ass goddamn yellow nigga up here with goddamn bikini, leopard print bikini drawers on, like a bitch, spinning around and jumping off the motherfucking stage and the goddamn speaker and shit. He looked like a motherfucking sis. I don't know, but goddamn, this would be the first sister I motherfucking fuck. I fucked this shit out this goddamn sister, man. And walk around here with them goddamn, am I black or white? Am I straight or gay? Goddamn it, controversy. Well, we'll be controversial in this bitch. You know, every bitch Prince fucked it. Was dressing like him, walking like him, talking like him. You know, the first bad bitch that I saw, the baddest bitch. First I thought it was, well, you know, Vanity's a bad bitch. Then he copied Vanity with goddamn Apollonia. But the first one I was in love with goddamn Sheila E. He turned Sheila E ass out. She was bad. He was bad. She come out there playing the goddamn drum and shit, throwing the drum stick up in the air, turning around, catch some motherfucker on the top of her ass. About time Prince get a hold to they motherfucker. Now I don't believe he was no motherfucking straight scissor call. By the time he get a hold to the bitch, any bitch, they be up on stage dancing like him, rolling like him, flipping like him, no drawers on or bikini drawers with some goddamn two legs, paisley pants. Tippy-tippy-doo. Tippy-tippy-doo. Ooh. Yes, honey. Rolling. Goddamn playing the back. Tippy-tippy-doo. Sheila E. was bad when she did Love's Bazaar and Glamorous Life. Sheila E. was bad. Yes, Sheila E. was badder than a motherfucker, man. She still goddamn bad. She just don't perform the way she used to, the way she was playing them drums like, and Get Out Low. I'm like, god damn, Sheila bad. You know, it was something about Prince. When the way he touch a bitch, like he said, the beautiful ones, honey, and Nikki, and I love to see little Nikki grind. I believe Prince was good at what the fuck he do. That's the first nigga right there. I don't fuck with no goddamn punks, but I would have fucked it Prince some motherfucking ass. You hear me? Had a baby in every goddamn thing, cause it was Prince was so motherfucking sinuous and goddamn sensual and shit. He could have easily goddamn been a woman in the motherfucking nighttime and a nigga in the goddamn day. I would have helped that motherfucker. Fix his hair and lipstick and every goddamn thing. So I'm listening to this shit and I'm looking. Prince want to talk. And and the way he talk, I think this is him because I've seen him in interviews and shit. And the way he was talking to me, hey Catherine, it's like, that's right, big. Not bitch, big. When she would have taught me how to goddamn get up there and roll like Sheila E. and goddamn play them drums and shit and twist the way they throw that, the way they be up there throwing I'm talking about throwing it smooth. You could tell Prince was good at what the fuck he do. So, but when he was talking to me, he was talking real calm, real relaxed, and looking down at me while I was writing. Him and NIPSEY been talking a lot. But the stuff he told me, I'm like, ooh, I'm going to tell you one thing. Some of y'all probably are not going to like this. So before, I believe they tried to outdress each other. But Prince looked like the type of nigga, fuck you, suck you, cook for you, take care of you and shit, tell you how to do your hair, how to do your face, how to do your body and shit. Look like you wouldn't even, you could just be butt naked and you ain't even got to worry about it. Like he'll wash, groom you and shit. This motherfucker dress a bitch, design a bitch like from head to toe. That's right, Diaries. Now tell me, Diaries, would you have holler at Prince? Would you have gave Prince a chance? Mama Diaries, if Prince had said. If Prince had said something to you, if Prince had said something, but goddamn Michael Jackson had goddamn said something, Because Michael Jackson seemed like he was got that same kind of goddamn energy, the androgynous energy. Yes, he's every woman like. Oh, thank you, Ellen. I'm glad you like the outfit. That's right. That's right, Mama Doris. I would let Prince groom me, get me up there, show me how to goddamn sing. I ain't think Prince had like that no black women. You know what I'm saying? Unless at least whole black. Until I seen that girl. What that pretty girl? Was it Marvin Gaye daughter? Who was the girl? I'm not sure. Marvin Gaye daughter had sung with him. It was a pretty girl had sung with him, kind of brown skinned. Like she was up on the stage with him, and I didn't know they was fucking a few years ago. A few years before he died. And I don't know what happened. They broke up, and I don't think she reading what you said solo. I don't think that girl was the same after she had some of that pipe. Now I know Prince was a little man, but you know sometimes you be fooled, because sometimes them little niggas be goddamn hanging and motherfucking swinging and banging in the motherfucking drawers and in them sheets. You know what I'm talking about? Prince must have had some, because it's something just you look at him and his eyes and shit and the way the nigga be. He ain't even got to say nothing to me. I just look at the nigga. I look at the nigga picture and the way he be doing his eyes, and so you can tell the nigga know how to handle business. So he talking to me. I'm sitting down with my pen, and he just standing by me, just looking down at me, telling me what to write. He was real smooth. He did not raise his voice, not one time. He was talking, he real cool, and he talked, you know, the nigga's control. You know what I'm saying? He's real goddamn controlled with his shit. This is, you know how you meet some niggas, they be so controlled. You don't even have to pull, the nigga don't even have to touch you or pull your drawers down. Because you get defend it, you would pull your own drawers down for the nigga and just lay down. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of energy this nigga got. You know what I'm saying? So I just respected it. And I sat down, we talked it all night, like a few hours last night. Well, I just sat there and wrote, but let me say, because some people probably ain't going to like what I got to say. Probably don't even like what the fuck I'm saying, nah. But this is just a spiritual reading now. To put my goddamn disclaimer on this motherfucker. You know, I don't want nobody getting mad. And if you get mad, fuck you too. Before you hear what I'm finna say, fuck you, okay? Because this is a reading, and this is my interpretation of what the goddamn man slid in here with them goddamn purple shoes on and said what the fuck he want to say to me. Him. Would not, I wouldn't wear, that's right, Mom Doris, wear no drawers. I wouldn't wear none around the nigga either. You know, just some shit like this. Because all the nigga got to do is look at me. And a certain way I'm untying, dropping. You know what I'm saying? Low. You see what I'm saying? Dropping. Pop, lock, and dropping. ATL style. Okay. Which one? Oh. Let me try. This shit is weird. And I want to get into something else very quickly, too. Well, let me go and do Prince then. Because I know y'all probably want to hear what they're saying about Prince. And it really tripped me out. And then I got to go back into where I cut off at. When we're going to go back to LA. When we deal with the FBI. Well, I was saying there were secret FBI investigations around credit card fraud, bank fraud, money laundering, wire fraud, real estate fraud. We're going to get into all those things because that's when it cut off at. Thank you, Rita, and I'm glad you're here. A lot of people want to see me live. And oh, let me say one more thing and I'm going to move on. People send me messages and say that they cannot see, or they can see the show, but they cannot comment. I have nothing to do with it. It's not my fault. I didn't do anything where nobody can comment on the live show. You probably have talked to Facebook. It's something I don't know about. It's something I cannot control. Sometimes I know is when I try to friend people, they still can't comment, and they say once they do something, a feature or something, or talk to Facebook, then it's corrected. But y'all don't blame me for that because I have nothing to do with it. I don't really see the big deal. You know, you don't have to be here live. You can wait till the show is over. You can put your comments there then, or you can put it on YouTube. But I guess some people just like to see things live. I don't know, but it's not my fault, y'all. I'm not doing anything, you know, to mess that up. Okay, now we go. Send a disclaimer. It's a spiritual reading. Let me go into Prince, because I'm going to tell you something. It was really creepy, and he is spending time with NIPSEY, and he actually said now that him and Nipsey have some enemies in common, because some of the people that had something to do, business partners with Nipsey, they have something to do with deals that Prince made before he physically died. And Prince is very upset, and Prince is still in the earth realm, and Prince is very upset about what he felt like people that he dealt with. And I'm going to say male, I'm not going to say female. These were males he dealt with in the music industry that he felt told him one thing or wrote one thing in a contract and did another. Deceived him, tricked him, and now trying to do something else with his music, or redirect, or sold the music, or said they're going to do one thing and did another with the music, or brought other people involved in it to get money. I think you know who I'm talking about. So Prince is very upset, and then I saw what Sony come up, Warner Brothers come up, and then they went and drilled into Prince's safe and stole music out of his vault, and then the sister let them steal out of, they let him dig, made an agreement with the sister, and which is also Prince is talking about slavery and emancipation and reconstruction. And that's also what he is talking about with Nipsey. They're still talking, and they're sharing notes, and Prince has now become one of Nipsey's mentors, as well as Aretha Franklin. She's still talking to Nipsey. Did you all know that Aretha Franklin was also with Atlantic Records? When you look back, it said that they were in a partnership agreement. The same thing they told Nipsey. He was in a partnership agreement, because those are the exact words that Nipsey used. And so Aretha Franklin has been explaining to Nipsey about the partnership agreement, and said there was a Jew, a older Jew that was there when Aretha was there, that set that type of deal in place. So I don't know what type of deal Nipsey has with Atlantic, but I noticed that when I researched it, the same word is used, and Aretha had a partnership with Atlantic, but Aretha left Atlantic. There was something going on there to make her leave. So she could talk to Nipsey about Atlantic, and said the Jewish man that put certain rules and regulations in place to cheat people out of their money and tell them they're getting a partnership with Atlantic. Really, they're not giving you a partnership. You're not equal partners. They are stealing, and they are tapping into ownership of your rights and your publishing. That's what she was saying to him. So I can't get into it, because I don't know what Nipsey's so-called partnership and agreement is with Atlantic. And then someone told me, I don't know if it's true, that there's going to be some taping of the Aretha Franklin movie with Jennifer Hudson in Atlanta. I'm not sure yet, but I said, oh, that would make sense why she came to speak to me. And Gladys Knight came up. Gladys Knight in the Pips. Gladys Knight is from Atlanta. I'm not sure if one of her brothers or cousins was a part of the Pips. I think Aretha might have been with Motown too, but also Gladys Knight was with Motown and Atlantic Records. She's still alive, physically alive. I'm not sure if she also had something to do with Aretha Franklin's funeral. I don't know, was Gladys Knight at Aretha Franklin's funeral? Did she sing there, or was she in attendance for the funeral? And I'm saying, if she is going to do some of the taping in Atlanta with Aretha, it would make sense, because Atlanta is also Atlantis. Because remember, I kept saying I didn't know a couple of readings ago, Atlantis, and Atlantic Records and Railroads, they tied into Atlanta. Now I see why, because some of the artists are here from Atlantic. And then Nipsey was coming here a lot, working with artists, and even had homes here in Atlanta, and he's with Atlantic. And then Aretha is there, if they're filming some of this in Atlanta, she was also with Atlantic. And Atlanta is heavily occult and Masonic, because Atlanta is on the 33rd parallel. You can look that up. So it's heavily Masonic and Eastern Star, which is the female Mason and heavy fraternity, sorority. That's where a lot of people would get initiated. at. And I have that really strong vibe about Aretha and Gladys Knight. So there's a reckoning coming on. There is also going to be a private ritual, heavy ritual. Thank you, Nikki. If some of that filming is going to be done in Atlantis on the 33rd parallel. And I think some of Atlanta is above water. And I think some of it, I don't know if it's also mountain, or I know we have crystals under the city. I don't think all of the city is just on dry land. I think some of it, I have to do some more research, is above some water. Okay. So she came in and she's been talking about having written down everything they said. I guess it doesn't really matter. You don't have to know or want to know everything that she's saying. All these powerful people are talking to NIPSEY. But Prince came through. All of them are so heavy and so deep, just like I found out about. And then I feel like, too, Prince knew about the real estate fraud in certain cities and, yes, Candy, and real estate frauds. And I believe Prince helped some people save their houses, or when they were outside, helped them get other places to stay. I think Prince, from what he's telling me, he knew about what happened. Oh, she's saying bridge over troubled water. Child, I just got chills. You know, yeah, there are a lot of portals in Atlantis in ATL. This is like the new oh, I feel something very heavy when I'm saying this. I'm getting chills all over. And I got the heat on. It's cold in Atlanta right now, but I have the heat on and I'm getting chills when I say certain things. And I'm feeling some Masons show up in here. I'm feeling they look like, and they feel like funeral directors. I don't know why I'm getting that vibe, like pallbearers. Whew. Prince, I believe, knew about these things secretly and was helping people when they lose a house or need money, or stop them from losing it, trying to save them if he could help them in time. So I think that's one reason, too, why he came up, because he knows about these frauds and things that are going on to disenfranchise and trick black people. And he said he knew about, he said there were chemtrails over the city, so he could see them in the sky where he lives around his house and above the house. And he also said he's been spied on and watched, and those chemtrails will release chemicals to make people violent, to make people like suddenly shift in their personality, to get arrested and then given jail sentences to get rid of them. That would also tie into the poisons in the vaccinations and in the water in the city where he lived at. He started noticing a lot of strange phenomena, but he would not tell all this because he was warned, he was spied on. If you tell this, you won't be seen. We'll put you in an institute. They like had holding places, literally places underground. And oh, that's reminding me of another creepy person that came up in this I gotta tell you about. Molly Mall and Big U. Let me try to hurry so I can get to that shit. So Prince was saying he knew about this, and then Prince is also saying he's very upset with his sister that's over this estate. So I hope nobody gets offended about, I'm trying to interpret this to the best of my ability, but he's very upset with his sister and how he says she let these people trick her, and says she's still on dope. So she has a lot of anxiety problems, a lot of stress, under a lot of stress, cannot rule his property effectively, does not know about handling money, managing an estate, managing large amounts of money. There's a board over his money. I don't know if y'all can verify this. If I heard this correctly, let me know. He said because the sister was never good at managing money, she never had any success. She couldn't even manage her own money. So they put her over his estate as like a scapegoat to basically use her to cheat his estate and to funnel money out and to control her. Because it's saying she's not running his estate alone. And I see a white lady or somebody around her. I see like maybe 10 men, and they're mostly white men and Jewish men, because she cannot handle Prince's affairs. He said she was never good at it. And he said something about when she gets anxiety and gets flustered and very nervous very easily. And when she does, she can't remember or think quickly. She has anxiety attacks and panic attacks, and she starts to sweat and get really flustered. And he says she's on pills. She still has an addiction, he said, and she drinks. some type of alcohol. That's what he's saying to me, and said that she has mental problems and that she hears voices. And you all also tell me if I'm interpreting this wrong. He said she doesn't live in his house. She cannot live in his house. She cannot sleep in his house. She said there's no family, like mother, father, children with pets living in his house. The house is haunted. He said it's so many spirits in that house, and Prince walks through the house. The house is full of demons. That house is very demonic. The demons have taken over the house, and a lot of the demons come from the record label, because they're saying the property belongs to them. You think I want to say this stuff? This is what Prince said. And to be honest with you, Prince really wasn't talking to me a lot right now. In the reading I did last night, he was talking, but then he'll be quiet. Why? Because the demon started to tell me all of these things. We had a long conversation last night. That's why I tell you it was very uncomfortable. I said, I got to take a bath. While I was sitting in the bathtub, I turned on the album Purple Rain. I've never felt like that before. I love Purple Rain. That's like my favorite one of Prince. And then Dirty Mind. Like I said, the older ones when he first came out. I could see them goddamn bikini drawers and shit in his ass. That's the Prince right there that I goddamn love. So I'm listening to this shit, and it was hard to listen to. Why? Because when I listen to it, and I listen to that goddamn crazy ass guitar, oh my God, you can see that on YouTube. Prince got a motherfucking black mask on, got his shirt off with his motherfucking hair fixed, and got a goddamn hot curl with that goddamn curl hanging over that goddamn eye, with them two little ass black tuxedo pants on, with grease around his nipples, with them damn high heel boots on, playing the fuck. I'm talking about just making love to that goddamn guitar on that computer. Was it Computer Blue? That motherfucker bad as hell. And that motherfucker just going to that interlude of goddamn Computer Blue. And Purple Rain. When I heard that shit again, I said, I felt demons all in my motherfucking bathroom. They came all over the house. They said, that's us. I said, that's you? He said, that is us. Like, we controlled and possessed the whole band. We possessed Prince. And we taught him how to play all of the instruments. And then when he signed the deal with Warner, we possessed Prince to make sure he would be a multi-million-dollar household name, because he was already a prodigy. And so he got a lot of them gifts through the demons and his daddy. And you know what else came up when I was looking at Prince? Let me make sure I write this down. It's really weird, because I think it was during the time he was fighting with Warner Brothers. 2009, a Harry Potter movie came out called Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince. You know, Prince, that's his real name, and Prince is a half-breed, because his daddy is like a half-breed too, like black, and he might have some Italian or something in him. And then the mother is, I don't know if she's Italian and Creole. So Prince is the half-breed Prince. And then, you know, Harry Potter is full of demonic magic. So I knew there was also symbolic of Prince. And it was 2009, so I think Prince was still fighting with Warner Brothers as a slave and trying to get emancipated. So when I seen that shit I never seen before, I said, oh yeah, I knew something had been worked on him. And then it was also through sex ritual. Now Prince in his younger days was doing some fucking. He was getting high and doing some fucking. I don't know if it was just pills, or Prince was drinking at one point, and Prince kind of toned it down. Prince was wild, and Prince would be involved in them orgies. And I'm seeing some of them goddamn musicians in his band go both ways. And I believe at one point Prince can correct me if I'm wrong. Prince kind of experimented. You know. On both sides of the goddamn rainbow, goddamn it. You know, Prince was very fluid. And some of them, the members of that band, when I look at some of them niggas, I think one named Andre had his hair fixed, the same goddamn way curled with that damn headband around there. Some of them niggas was fluid. And they did them rituals and kept them in the inside, so they have to then worry about nobody telling. You know. And a tell-all book, or to this day, you ain't seen nobody write no book about them coming out and telling Prince sex game. I'm telling you, Prince sex game was tight, baby. And Prince will fuck all night. You know, when he was young. It's like it's whatever. And them spirits, when he fucking and then playing them instruments and they on that stage and mesmerizing. Look how, go back and watch that nigga. That motherfucker there wasn't much bigger than me. I come out there and mesmerize millions. And mesmerize because this motherfucker's so bad. He can sit up there by himself. And then you see in the end when he was getting sick and died after the airplane. Actually, look at where he come from. He had come from Atlanta / Atlantis on the 33rd parallel. And that was like one of his last shows, wasn't it? When he left Atlanta and got on that goddamn jet, he got sick and they had to take a layover. See, that was part, he had just come from the Mount of Atlantis, and then cross over. See, that was symbolic, but they also saying something to me about 2007. I don't know what went on in 2007. Maybe I can look it up and tell me what happened to Prince Life. Because they were talking so much, I didn't have time to look over everything. I said, this is the only celebrity I can really get to, and I want to give you part 2 instead of keep on waiting because there's so much they want to say. This is what they said last night. So I said, let me come back and it might be a part 3, part 4. I don't know where this is going because I got to do goddamn Sammy Davis ass next. But they had spies on him, the phone, people around him, that they were working for him, acting like they were managing him, watching over Prince, like they doing business with him, but they spying, telling everything Prince was doing, and Prince started feeling paranoid, but he couldn't really tell anybody because he thought people would think that he was crazy. During this time, he was fighting with Warner because they felt like they made him like he was their child prodigy and were stealing him. He didn't understand. He was like, what, 17 when he got in that deal. So then he's pulling away and wanting his rights, and they felt like it was a betrayal to them. But look, this is a gangster, just like Tupac said, ain't nothing but a gangster party. That's all this is. This is a very powerful elite industry controlled by gangsters. These are very powerful mobsters that are connected to, again, Moorish law, banks, and Wall Street, birth certificates, and owning your publishing so they can also put your publishing and the artists on Wall Street. I know that might sound crazy to y'all, but that's what Prince said to me. As well as NIPSEY when he was talking about the straw man. Because see, that is the straw man. And the straw man springs out of the semen and the naval vessel of the mother, see. And it starts with taking the person's essence and rights and identity through the birth certificate. So all of the rights to his God-given ancestors and all the gifts they gave him, they want to take your birthright and your God-given gifts and abilities, hijack them through them contracts and trick you and make you think you're supposed to give your stuff to them. Oh, it'll happen when you're not famous. It's not just the music industry. It happens in banking, finance, and every goddamn thing. Y'all don't know that even when you're working for these companies that they have secret life insurance policies. So even if you get fired or you quit, when you die, they get a secret policy and cash in on you that you don't know about and your family don't know about and don't get no motherfucking money. Oh, did you think this is just, you think you're safe? Because you work a job every day and you're not a singer, a dancer, a rapper, an artist, and you don't work with a record label? You think you're exempt from this shit? And because you're not famous, you think that means something, that you're safe? No. I found it out years ago. They get your ass and put it on corporate America, and your ass is in the goddamn stock market too as a fucking slave. Just like JFK told me, anything black is tied to no land. You have no backing. You have no laws, no rights. And this JFK Jr. saying this to me. He said, we all know that. We all secretly know that people that are called black have no power. They are not top players in the game. They're not affiliates or partners. They are separated from the game. He said, we are all told this on top. We are the ruling families. The elite will not let them in. Why? Because if they let them in and they understand the science that we understand, they will know that they are the rulers. And then everything will revert back to them. And we cannot do that. I couldn't believe, I said, damn, this white man telling me some shit like this. I can't, that's why I said I might have to read this shit again, because I don't think they really got what the fuck this man said. I really don't think they got what JFK said. And so it's like, I'm going to read this again. It said JFK Jr., he said there's a secret doctrine. A doctrine of black people. The man without a nation or nationality cannot stand alone. A black man, a person that's called black, it's like with a blindfold, has no nationality and has no home. And Abraham Lincoln, a secret Magellan and closet Mason, did not free the slaves. His signing of the Emancipation Proclamation was an illusionary symbolic ceremony of the brotherhood to send a signal to the elite that he was their sheep and pet goat that would mirror back the instructions to them in public to make the world think that they would be forced to change, and put a politician and slave owner on notice that slavery was over and they had to free the slaves. But that's really not what was going on. They act like they freed them symbolically and flipped this shit again. Go back and study the history of that, you see. And he's dropping this to me. And you see what they did to his motherfucking ass. Shot his ass in the goddamn head. What was it, John Booth? John Wilkes Booth? Tell me if I'm correct, because he had fulfilled. He wasn't going to step that long anyway. He was symbolic and basically passing through. And let me tell you another one. Then get back to Prince. Another thing that came up, Black Christmas. I don't know what that means. Emancipation. Dealing with Prince and the Love Sex Library. Maite, his wife with the baby boy, they said that was a sacrifice. Abraham Lincoln, Emancipation / the Stars, and Harriet Tubman. Because that's what I want to do this tonight. Because, you know, there's a full moon and a meteor shower going on tonight. Hattie McDaniel also came up because, you know, she was in the Hollywood and the actress and dealt with fighting slavery. And this all ties into Nipsey Hussle and then 2008. That was so deep to me. I just had to go into some of that again. Okay, so Prince is telling me this, and he is very angry with his sister, and he's still in pain. He's angry about what they did to him, and he's grabbing his gut. He's grabbing his head. He's grabbing his gut. So something happened to Prince's lower body and the intestine. So, okay, I'm going to read some of this. Nipsey Hussle and Prince, and he's got the symbol up here when he wouldn't use his name. Slavery, emancipation, he said that's what happened to Nipsey, and then the Reconstruction. Prince warning Nipsey about destruction of his business and control and theft of his publishing and intellectual property to hold a portion of Nipsey's rights broken into a pie to distribute percentages with different entities and Nipsey's family, but not 100% of Nipsey's money and control of his music and his deal with Atlantic will go to Nipsey's estate. Prince is telling Nipsey that he was being set up, spied on from within, and watched. People placed near Nipsey knew he didn't have much time alive with Atlantic. He was going to have a longer relationship with Atlantic in physical death. They wanted to deal with him in physical death and then deal with who? The straw man. Nipsey didn't know that. So they did not want to deal with the individual Nipsey Hussle. They only want to deal with the straw man, which is the corporation, the entity. And then to take that out of Nipsey's hand and break that down and then create other stores and entities and take this to a new level where they are benefiting themselves. So they did not want to deal with the proud Eritrean Armias Ashkadam. They didn't want him to take his music to Africa and start a successful music company because he wanted to branch out and deal with African talent. They said, and get very talented people of color signed without them. And also Sony comes into this for some reasons. I don't know if they're thinking about going there or dealt with some artists that are from there. I don't know what they got to do with this, or if they're tied to Atlantic in some type of way. Prince is very angry right now. He knows he was cheated in the past and in the New Deal right before he died. He said a lady was with him the day before he died that he trusted. A small group was in Paisley Park. So somebody went in his house. She know what happened to Prince. Men and some women went to Prince's sister. He said she was starstruck and ignorant and didn't know anything about law or business. He said she slept with a lot of men and got pregnant. That's what he's saying about his sister. Said by some different men. So I don't know. Y'all tell me if y'all can see that Prince had a sister that's running his estate. Does she have any children? Because he's saying if she don't have them, she was pregnant and had to get rid of them or lost them. Child Michael got in it because the same thing. Michael and him is very similar. I'm going to tell you in a minute. They pitted them against each other because they didn't want them to join together as they both look at them. When they physically took them out, they had started to ascend into their higher purpose coming from their star children, coming from other galaxies. You see, they pitted them against each other and then want them to align because they had a lot of power to uplift and enlighten the world. They didn't want them to do that and to get along. So say the sister got pregnant by different men and the sister was on that shit real bad, and say that she didn't want to work, she didn't want to go to school, she didn't want to pay no bills. And he said the sister had been homeless and had been living outside, eating out the trash can. Look, y'all forgive me. Again, this is a disclaimer. If I'm getting this shit wrong, this man said trash can, and said it was a trash can by a fence in a broke down neighborhood. And so she would go in this big broke down nasty old house and do drugs with this nigga. Said the nigga was her man, or she was fucking and hanging out with the nigga. Big black nigga looked like. And said she do drugs with the man, but looked like he also shot up. And when he showed me her, she was on this sofa smoking this pipe or something, smoking like, looked like some crack, because it was this thick white, like she was lighting it with one hand and smoking it with putting it in her mouth, holding it, and then some real thick clouded white smoke came up out this shit, was up in the air in front of her face, and then she would slide down in the seat real relaxed and go to sleep or pass out or get fucked. So it was a sex orgy began in this nasty ass house. So Lord forgive me if I'm interpreting what this goddamn man is saying. Knock on wood, I don't want to say this here. You know, I could have interpreted what the man said wrong. So y'all tell me if the lady, if Prince's sister was on dope and smoked it crack or something, and was out in the street real bad, or had some children or something she couldn't take care of, and be begging for money with this big black ass nigga living in and out of the house, and said the nigga was nasty and had the nerve to be whorish and on that shit. Said Prince said his sister would beg him for money and give it to this man she was fucking, and he would take advantage of her, beat her ass, and actually gave her an infection or disease, and say he had hit her in the face, hit her in the eye or something, whooped her ass, and say he actually damaged her mouth or a tooth or teeth or something, the way he used to dog out you out in the street bad. And he said the man lived in that abandoned house and used the bathroom. Look. Maybe I shouldn't. You know, I ain't want to read this shit. Said the nigga used the bathroom in a jar. I mean, like a bucket. Y'all, Look, let me give another disclaimer, because I could be getting this wrong what this nigga said. I think Prince said it. I don't know if they goddamn demon tricked me. Like they say, I let demon trick my ass. And I got this shit wrong. But Prince said his sister was out there on the shit, and the nigga was on the shit, and the nigga was shooting up, and then the nigga washed his ass, said he shitted in a bucket, and got some water on the side of the house or something around there on the side faucet, because the house wasn't working that they lived in, and dug in his ass with an old rag. Man, Prince, I ain't even know Prince talk like that. Prince was going in. Said he was a nasty nigga, and said the nigga sit up there and wash his clothes in that same bucket and get some damn soap, detergent, and hang his drawers. Say he had some big old drawers. Hang the drawers. So the nigga lay his drawers over the fence of an old broke down metal fence. Y'all dirty as a motherfucker, because I was calm until y'all started with them laughing emojis. I'm trying to keep my cool, because like I said, I hope I'm not lying on that man. I hope I'm not lying on the nigga. She said wash his ass and... Oh, Lord Jesus. Try not to goddamn cry over this. Man, I ain't know if this is Prince talk like that. Look, y'all, please. The man is not stuck in the 1800s. Look, y'all need to tell me if y'all can dig up something. If Prince's sister was on dope and outside, like that man said, because Lord forgive me if I'm getting it wrong. I will take, y'all know me. I will come back and make a correction if I'm not hearing this man right. And said the nigga would sit up there and wash his ass in that house and take it out in that bucket. And then had say he was a big nigga and tall, said his drawer was about this big, like wide. And the nigga would take these wide drawers off and wash them down in that bucket after somebody give him some water. Give him some dishwashing detergent over the fence. So the man scrub them, and then they was big, so he said take a little while to lay them over. I'm sorry, y'all. Like I said, y'all please help me. You know I asked y'all to help me right now. And see if Prince's sister was out there bad like that on that shit. Because I sure want to take this bullshit back I'm reading. Okay. He said, my sister's a liar. Trying to take what belonged to me and act like she created my empire and legacy, walk around showing people my home and accomplishment, high on pills, and got a secret alcohol problem. But why don't y'all look this shit up and see if I'm getting the right shit, man, so I can stop this reading if I'm not. I go on to the other people or go further past this shit Prince saying. Said, walk around bragging, taking my estate and all the money that she stole from me. She not smart when it comes to business, and she will let a board of directors and shareholders control the estate because she is lost and overwhelmed and suffer from stage fright and anxiety. Said the lady want to be a star like him, but she ain't got what it take. So she want to sing and dance like him. Said the lady can't stand. She got his money. She got Prince money. She running his estate now. And it says she lost and overwhelmed, suffer from stage fright and anxiety, so she can't take my play with my music or play instrument or sing like me. Says she ain't got the anointing on her or the demons or anybody to teach her or give her the voice. Says she ain't got the voice, and she really always had wanted to be him and was jealous of him. So this is a dream come true for her to be over his shit and act like, it's her. She just in heaven. And says she hear Prince in there, she feel Prince in there, and she don't really stay in his house. So see, I need y'all to see what y'all find out about what the fuck I'm saying. Because I don't like saying this bullshit when they give me shit like this. Said, and when she have panic attack, she forget things and get a foggy brain when she's forced to act under pressure. She self-medicates and will lose control over my fortune or give a large portion away. She feels me in my house and talk to me when she thinks she hear me. She can't look at my picture and look in my eyes too long because I haunt her. She has a child that died or was aborted as a child she didn't see or don't take care of. Y'all please help me find this out. Tell me something. I don't know what I'm trying to get what he said. If she got some children, he said at one point she didn't take care of them. Then some she got pregnant with, she lost them or aborted. She couldn't hold them in because what she was doing. It said we would argue about her addiction and taking care of her baby and saving money. He said, but he will give her money. He said Prince does not like how his sister laugh and talk with and is flattered by men in the music industry that took advantage of me and stole money and rights from me. They were working in the night with vicious spies and sorcery, drugging me, and had spies in my house. I did not trust anyone to cook or clean for me anymore. The spirit of Prince that moved, it's really weird. It's before he went out, the last few months and a few weeks, it's a demon. It looked like the midget I be telling you about, that imp that be with Satan. Every way Prince would move, the demon started mimicking Prince's movements, but started making moves down and started actually acting like Prince was dying. Just the way this thing was moving, laying on the ground. It was ODing because Prince couldn't see it. So it started mimicking all the movements of Prince, and it showed me this room. Prince had this room that didn't nobody go in but him, just like Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson had a room full of mirrors where he would call in Liberace, and he would get knowledge through the mirrors. I'm not even sure if Michael dealt with Aleister Crowley. This is the same type of magic they put on Prince. When they were getting ready to take Prince out, it was first done in the astral. It was done in the demonic realm. The demons started coming around Prince, coaching Prince, and mimicking the actions of Prince that would lead to death through drugging and through injury of the body. Damaging of the body, dealing with the cardiovascular system, which would be the heart, arteries, and veins, dealing with the digestive system and the gut being off, dealing with the upper respiratory system and attacking and relaxing and depressing the central nervous system. This one was talking to him in there. And he would go in this room where nobody would go and do his meditation and his ritual. Prince was heavy into magic and mind control, and Prince wouldn't sleep much. That's what Prince was saying to me. Prince would be up all night a lot of the time working and writing. Y'all, if y'all can find out, let me know if I'm picking up the right thing. And the demon that I seen come in there that would mimic him, that he would talk to, that had a portal open to hell and different dimensions, would come through the mirror and possess Prince and give Prince a lot of knowledge. It lived in that house. The demon lived in the goddamn house and walked through there and possessed Prince. Go back and look at Prince. When he be talking, the way he moved, the way his eyes look. That wasn't always him. He had another personality that gave him power, wealth, fame, and fortune. That's why they told me, no, the house belongs to us now. Because Prince, they put the demon on Prince when he made the deal, and he didn't know nothing about, he didn't agree to it directly, but he was involved in a sexual thing for that to get no purple is a very royal color. And the demon on Prince like purple. See? So the thing had a crown when it came on him. This is a king demon with legions of military army underneath him. So they gave it to him, and the demon told me, it's mine. And if he would have broken a deal with Warner and want to take everything back, he felt like it was his because he like, I gave it to him. I gave him the fame, the fortune, the money, the songs, how to play the instrument. Prince was so bad and so profound and goddamn prolific with this shit that he just set up and the whole vault, them beings gave it to him. Because they control all of it. So to break the deal and take back that, and it wasn't his fault. They had jammed him in because he was already brilliant and natural that way from the demonic entities on his daddy. The daddy was an evil motherfucker, remember, and dirty as hell, but he could not manifest his dream. Because remember, he put Prince out the house when Prince was 12 years old. Prince was homeless at 12 goddamn years old. He did Prince dirtier than a motherfucker. But he could never achieve what Prince achieved. Sometimes everything ain't for you. It might be for your children, it might be for your grandchildren. Even though it moves through you, you have abilities and dreams don't come true for you. It might come through for your child, a grandchild, or some shit. So he got a lot of that. The daddy was a bad motherfucker too. But they didn't want the daddy. They wanted Prince. So Prince didn't know he had signed with them. And they sent those demons on him through Warner. That's who they controlled and belonged to him. He could not have that proper land. That's why the demon said, I took it back. Now I live here. I run it. I control it. Everything belonged to me because I'm the one that gave to him. And Prince knew this. He knew it later. He knew it before he left, but he couldn't do nothing about it. That's why as he evolved and he elevated, wanted to change, they wouldn't let him. Because they knew that Prince was going to shift the paradigm of the planet. Because he was one of the beings to do it. And they wasn't going to have that because they would lose power. They know they have a certain amount of time anyway. That what the demon was telling me. It blew my mind. Now see, so you hear that? When I heard Purple Rain, they was all over it. And all over the goddamn guitar. I have never felt that creeping weird from listening to Purple Rain in my motherfucking life until now. That's why so many people was crazy about him and mesmerized. Already brilliant. But you know, it's a lot of brilliant people don't mesmerize and don't get picked up and get deals and set the world on fire like that. But he did. He said, we did it. He already got that demonic gifts and entities from his daddy anyway. The heaven and the angels and the demonic and the hell. His daddy was both. He said, so we just enhanced it. It was a whole nother crew of them. And when I seen them, I ain't never seen no motherfucker like this. The one walking through the house, like some of the skin was off. This motherfucker looked like a Halloween demon. The thing got up out the ground and some of the skin was gone and the eyes was buck and mud, wet mud was all over this male demon that came to me. It was a whole army of them came in there with Prince and surrounded that house. And I said, I have never seen, and they said, we are demons, we're legion. And we are a hit crew. When people get out of line or they want to take back what we have given them or they want to get out of a deal and still keep what we've given them, we will come and set them up to be hit. We murder them and we are always successful at what we do. So they did this, killed this man in the astral first. That's why you started singing on that cartoon and other places where Prince was jumped on and killed and choked and shit. People said they saw it before it happened. And them the cartoon, what that cartoon, they said they always predicted program and put some shit out in that cartoon. You can see it in there because they were doing it in the astral. That would be the astral with a cartoon, a television, a video. It's sending the message out. And I said this army of dead people, legion of them. I said, I've never seen them before. He said, yes, you have. You know where we all saw them at? Michael Jackson's Thriller. They put them on Michael. Michael was possessed by them and embraced them. Go back and look at that Thriller video. They look just like that. They put similar demons on Prince and Michael. Prince and Michael were brothers. They come from the same place, had the same abilities and gifts, and they did not want them to evolve and wake up and join forces. They would have been like superheroes, and they did not want that to happen. Yes, the Simpsons and Family Guy, that was in the astral. Those demons moved through there. And I said, I thought I never seen them. And he said, yes, you have. You seen me before. I said, I ain't never seen it. He said, yes, you did. Michael Jackson, oh, you motherfucking right. Yeah, you goddamn ass right. And we were saying, hey, we were talking about 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. I said, you fucking right. Yes, you eat that. Yeah, that was me. We had Michael ass. And I said, oh, God. And Michael embraced that shit and dressed up like that thing. And then you see, after that, Michael went to right. Because was that before the Pepsi burn or after the Pepsi burn that he did Thriller? He brought Michael in the shit with Prince. So, you know, Michael came in here too. Remember, I got to work on Michael ass. But I had to get this because Prince ain't never talked to me like that. You know, Prince tried to talk to me last year when Michael came here telling me that his daddy was going to die. And that his mama was sick and couldn't walk good. And then Prince came in on purpose while he knew Michael was here. And then Michael was like, I ain't leaving, so you're going to have to come back. And he was like, oh! Like, don't start that shit. Yeah, Prince had just got his hair fixed, and he had it cut, like, over his ear. It was faded down, had an earring in, and had it curled with a part on the side, like, had some line down here, had it flipped. With his purple outfit on, kind of like in that Batman thing. Here we go with that shit. Batman, which is Nipsey's favorite. The Batman came in the motherfucker too. And Superman and Spider-Man came in the bitch. So I'm trying to hurry up so I can read you the couple to read you that last time. Okay. He was talking about that, and them demons took over and said that they were surrounding him because they knew he wanted out. And you see Warner act like they let him out, in 2014? Gave him his rights and then killed him in 2016. And made a new deal with him, but you see, didn't live to see. And then what? Warner jumped back in. When he was physically dead, they were waiting on the process to take over because they had been put that spirit out on him anyway because he didn't want to act right and want to take what belonged to him. But see, they had got in it. See, now I understand, a lot more. And then he say, the demon, since a special room he went in, the demon come in and out. So the demon came out the mirror and walked through the house, and they surrounded the house, and it was sent from Warner Brothers. There are several demons that were inside of Prince's house from the four winds and the four directions to control Prince and help structure his image for Warner and make him a household name and to use him as a slave to them forever and in the other world, which is what they still fucking with him because he's not happy. They took his child with Mate as an offering, and it tore Mate up, and it damaged Mate and caused Mate to have mental problems. That was his wife that the baby died. She was a dancer for him, I think, at first too. And in the soul, so she feels awful. In the soul of that child, they took it as a part of Prince, as an offering. They took that child. Said something, the child was born with a brain defect or something. Say, and Prince also, come see Mate and follow her around. Mate still ain't right about that shit. So, and this demon is still attached to Mate that took that baby, and it also want Mate as a sacrifice. So, you said Mate, mine don't be good. Mate still deal with depression around that and have had thoughts of suicide in the past. I don't know if she's dealing with it now, but she got to do a lot of cleansing, spiritual cleansing and uncrossing. Because since it took the baby out of Mate, it also wants to take the source. It wants to take the mother. Okay, make sure I get all that. And then let me tell you something else they said. Prince was brilliant. Prince dealt with brainwave, but they had done some work on Prince. Well, Prince looked like he was hypnotized and was asleep, like he was controlled by MK Ultra in some place where they would go down and Prince brain waves. He dealt with mindscapes, demonic bargains, and music interludes and dream realm scapes where demonic kings and princes controlled governments and regions. Told Prince about the Bible and other books in Rome stolen from Egypt and Atlantis, which is from the part of Atlantis that is buried in the sea, and Lemuria and the land before these star child sci-fi cities, and also inside of the planet Mars and on top of Mars. Prince saw and knew all this, and Prince also dealt with remote viewing. Prince was psychic, just like Michael and Nipsey. And on many days, because all three of these men I mentioned are scientific, interested in space and NASA and airplanes, and said Prince loved airplanes, and Prince had created something about jet propulsion system. I know you're going to think this is crazy. Prince liked science, and Prince was fascinated with the engineering and the structure of airplanes. Prince had drawn out some blueprints and designs for the construction of an airplane, dealing with the internal structure and how it deals with jet fuel and jet propulsion systems. That's what he told me last night. I couldn't believe it. So when they went in there and broke in, don't y'all think they just stole music. There were other things, either, I don't know if Prince was in a process of patenting or copyrighting or trading, because Michael owned some copyrights or patents or something. I think one of them in them shoes, the moonwalk shoe, or the shoes he was in when he did Smooth Criminal, when he can move all the way forward like he about to fall, but he don't. Michael have a special shoe. Y'all can look it up. He owned either copyright or a patent or something for some inventions Michael Jackson had. The Prince was working on the same thing. If he had not, but see, with that sister running it and other people in control, they probably done stole that shit by now or got access to him. Prince say that is what was in that vault. Other things y'all didn't know about Prince was very deep and scientific, and he was channeling and getting things because of where Prince was from. The planets and the energetic him, where he was from. Prince was a healer. And they said he knew he wasn't from here. That's why he didn't sleep much. He had to work fast, and he knew he wasn't going to stay long. And said from where he was, it had happened to Prince before. In another dimension of the previous life, where he was a scientist and very, very talented, and he wanted to get away from a royal set like the Anu or Anunnaki, an evil set of them. And because he ran from the slave, he ran from this world, and it was also a temple of Set. He didn't want to be evil anymore. He was dealing with crystal technology to save worlds and run demonic empires. Prince was a scientist who was starting to awaken to his power to heal, just like Michael. They were pitted against each other and had spells done to create petty jealousy and misunderstandings between them. Prince designed a jet propulsion system. He was an engineer in the dimension of a solar star system that dealt with solar light, the solar light body that was inside of his body. The physical body, that wasn't him, the physical body. It was a higher vibration geometric prism light body that came in that body to experience life here on Earth and to raise the frequency of the planet and have it elevated light baby. You're supposed to give birth to special babies and elevate other people so that we could do the same thing. They did not want that. And that's one reason why they took his baby, and so they did not burn that baby body up. They did not destroy that baby. They kept that baby and used parts of that baby after they killed it. And Prince was made aware. The king demons would tell him wars before they would happen, plots, druggings, killings of political people, people in power, and entertainers, that he could not, he could not tell everybody, and that he started feeling very paranoid. And they told him if he tell, they would say he had dementia and a drug problem and would lock Prince up in a mental institute or hide him where you didn't know where he was, or you think something happened to him. He said these entities that talk to him say they are hybrids. They come from royal hybrid bloodlines. They control military, industrial complex, record labels that put artists on and take their catalogs, put them on Wall Street to be bought, sold, and traded like a piece of meat. They are slaves to bring their talent and intellectual property that the ancestors gave them to only enslave them and then slaughter them, drug them, rape them, murder them. Take their blood right from them. Okay, that's that Prince overall. So I hope y'all found that informative. Let me get to what it's a case. NIPSEY and this young man has been talking. I don't know if you all heard of this young man. He was 17 years old. Kendrick Johnson. This happened in Georgia, one of the country towns in Georgia in 2013. He was killed at school in the gym, rolled up in a mat, and they said that in a wrestling mat, they said he rolled himself up in there or climbed in there to get his shoe and killed himself. They found him in there upside down. What NIPSEY and him started talking and what reminded me of Kendrick Johnson was that there are two white boys. Their father is an FBI agent. This is Brian and Brandon Bell. The father, the FBI agent, is Rick Bell. They're saying these two white young men did this to Kendrick Johnson. And what is also weird about it that reminds me of NIPSEY, I'm going to tell you and you see if you understand. The FBI saw footage of NIPSEY. I'm telling you now, this is what he's saying to me because NIPSEY saw them watching it. And they know what happened to NIPSEY, but they are refusing to act at this time. I see the FBI investigating and looking at this, but they've been told to stand down. They're looking at it, though. They were looking at it before this, and like I said, around this has been fraud and secret FBI investigations around this, but they've seen it. They know what happened to him, and they're not doing. They've seen the altered footage, and they see the real footage, but they're quiet. You see, they have not said anything publicly about this in the investigation, but I'm telling you that they know. And what I'm saying, when I looked at Kendrick Johnson, he's still very angry. I said, tell me what happened. And he's saying something to me about a white girl that was supposed to be Kendrick Johnson's friend, was talking to him like she liked him, was his friend, lured him into the gym. with the two brothers, Brian and Brandon Bell. And he also is telling me, because he said he's holding his hand was bent. Now, if you see pictures of this young man, his eyes was fucked up, his mouth was fucked up, and when the parents seen him, all his organs were gone. He had been gutted. It was all missing, including his tongue and the trachea. All this has been took out. All this had been took out. That baby had been gutted, and his face was bruised and swole up. He didn't even look like himself. Mouth was swole up, nose swole up, like somebody had beat him in from. It was real, real bad. And he's saying to me, and they've done 3 autopsies on this young man, because the first one said the 2 boys didn't do it and that it was suicide. Yes, they did it to himself. It was an accident. Y'all need to look up this case with Kendrick Johnson, who was murdered in Georgia. And he's saying to me, he said he was friends. One of the 2 brothers was supposed to be his friends, or both of them were supposed to be his friends. He didn't want to be, he told me, I didn't want to play with them no more. I didn't want to be around them. They were both wrestlers. And one also played ball. They were very athletic. And he said, one day, he said, I didn't want to be alone with them brothers anymore. He said, because something happened when he was hanging out with the brothers, Brian and Brandon, one of the brothers. He said, Brian encouraged a attack and a fist fight on Kendrick, and moderated or refereed the fight near a wooded area. And said it was something, Kendrick Johnson said it was something weird about these 2 brothers. He said because he felt that Brian wanted to physically, he had put him in wrestling maneuvers and stuff and holds. So I'm not sure if Kendrick Johnson was a wrestler. These boys are very athletic and very strong. The 2 white boys are. One of them a professional wrestler. But I'm sure he taught, I felt like he taught the other one wrestling holds and maneuvers and to choke like this. And remember I said NIPSEY was grabbed and choked the same way and beaten and shot and tortured over a period of time. This boy he say it was something weird about them. He felt that Brian wanted to physically and sexually assault Kendrick, and Kendrick didn't want to be near them again. And said this was a Roman Olympic wrestling ritual to wrestle, dominate physically, and rape and torture. And asphyxiate him like he was an animal as the rite of passage. And said it's showing like his eye was busted and his face was messed up, like they choked him and was hitting him, choking him and beating him. I'm seeing the back of the ribs, the front, the side. It was cracked and bleeding, and internal bleeding, and up here in the side, and choked real bad, like cracked this boy bones in the throat, messed him up real bad. And that's one reason why I see they cut it all out, cut the tongue out, cut all this shit out, and wouldn't give it back to the parent and stuff the boy's body with some newspaper and shit. Won't tell them where the organs at. And said, what's this? Is Lowndes County. It was in Lowndes County, and it came up again. Was it from December 28, 2018 in Valdosta, Georgia. The lawyers of Kendrick Johnson's parent want evidence presented from this 3rd autopsy that this was a murder. They did the 3rd one and released it in November 2018. They did a 2nd autopsy in June 27, 2013. So literally, they baby have been dug up in autopsy 3 goddamn times. First time I think by the GBI, and you know they all said, you know, he did it to himself, and we know that's not true. So an agent, and there was an agent in some way facilitating, listen to this, facilitating the editing of the high school surveillance video. Now this was taped. The school got video in it, but now the video missing. They give you a little edited part where you can't see the 2 brothers, Brian and Brandon, in there. You can't even see anything that happened to him. He was killed in the gym, attacked and killed in the gym. They edited the video and cut it out, and the school officials too. They said the high school surveillance video, the agent some way facilitated the editing, edited the footage and the surveillance video by corrupting and deleting some 1 hour and 25 minutes. Just like what we see with NIPSEY, the video is missing and it is edited. You can't see them in there, and you can't see the goddamn murder. And it's not a part of the original recording. They won't give it to the lawyers. They won't even let media see this. It's not a part of the court. And said the sheriff had something to do. It was determined the cause of death was not accidental, but it was blunt force trauma to the right neck, right thoracic, which is in the body between the neck and the abdomen. The third autopsy contradicts findings of the first autopsy, which determined cause of death, positional asphyxia. Asphyxia. The family says the cause of death is changed from accidental to positional asphyxia to having to do with blunt force trauma and assault. He was assaulted. It says the cover-up and the conspiracy by the FBI agent, former sheriff, and the loudest county school superintendent, and said the GBI didn't tell them everything. Okay, so that's why I brought that in here, because it ties into him. And he's saying Brian, it's Brian and Brandon. He says Brian initiated this, and Brandon jumped in. Both of the brothers did this to him and beat him up together. Rolled him up in the goddamn mat. Took his shoes off and said he was in there digging for his shoes and caught himself up in there, couldn't get out. And if you look at the mat, it's a little bit of hole. Said it would roll up and the boy climbed through the little bit of hole. Now come on. You know that boy didn't do that goddamn shit. Okay. Let me get to something that's very, very important that NIPSEY was saying. And he said to look out for the fires and the earthquakes that are coming up. And he said, look at California, look at Nevada and Arizona fault lines. There's a lot of demonic entities being released for a lot of black magic rituals in Arizona, he said, and Nevada. And he said when this fire comes, an earthquake, I don't know where this volcano is coming from, or if volcanoes ever erupt in California along with fires, or any other cities I mentioned, Nevada, Arizona. I don't know if it's volcanoes there. If y'all know about some volcanoes anywhere that could possibly erupt in California, in any city, any town, let me know. He said, because I don't know when this is going to happen. It's going to get so bad that pieces of California are going to fall off and be separated and like destroyed. It's going to be large chunks of land missing with earthquake and volcanic eruptions because of fault lines being damaged, and energy from underneath the earth right now starting to crack and shift. I don't know what it means, but I have to tell you this. And let me get into this right quick about Molly Mall, goddamn ass. Oh my God. I know, like I'm saying, this is disclaimer, y'all. This is what I am feeling in the spirit. I don't know if you know about the rapper Molly Mall. Hey, Bunny. That was in Love and Hip Hop. He's a big time rapper. He was just arrested for prostitution out in Vegas. And he was dating the girl Nikki. Her family owns strip clubs and stuff. Very, very wealthy family. I think she's Greek or something. And what, 2014, 2015, Molly Mall and Nikki was in there. And baby, something going on in Cali up under that, what NIPSEY told me. And let me tell you, when I look at this man, and he has a lot of exotic cats and animals in his house, what they saying to me and what NIPSEY's saying to me about Molly Mall is tied to, remember y'all, when I said Cowboy 1 and Cowboy 2, I said it was a prostitution ring. It might have been in that one before. And child prostitution rings of girls and boys, and the police was tied into it in LA. They are saying, but of course they said ain't no evidence of it because they don't want this out. Molly Mall was getting away with this because he was paying the police out there in Las Vegas to allow this ring. This is a big ring. One of the prostitutes is speaking out. I saw on the news on YouTube. But, you know, a lot of them are too afraid to speak out. And a lot of these peoples is missing. And it also ties to what Big U was doing, because they're the same circles that I spoke of. Molly Mall is crazy. I'm going to tell you right now, Molly Mall is real dirty and low down and real sadistic. Molly Mall hate women's. I seen him inside that house. Not only do he sell women's, but he got a drug habit. He got a pill habit and a coke. He is a cokehead. And he sell that, got a drug ring going on. This man could get anything. Let me tell you something. Molly Mall is mob related, mob protected. He's been given the green light to run the industry. That's why he is so successful, and it ties into the music industry. It ties into going overseas. I'm even seeing Saudi Arabia where he take these women and disappear. Marley Marl house, and Lord forgive me, like I say, this is a spiritual reading. I probably don't know what I'm talking about. Marley Marl sell them animals pussy and they handhold. Marley Marl sell women's pussy and they handhold. And Marley Marl sells sex trafficking for children. That's what I see. I actually see downstairs in one of them houses Marley Marl got. It's a whole underground city with secret tunnels down in the city that have private drivers, real heavy trained, like Israeli trained type bodyguards and killers that connect to private jets, helicopters. It's a whole city down there and house. It's a dungeon down there. It got cages down there where he'll tie a bitch up in a cage. Don't feed them, beat them, and this is all on film. Torture them. When he met them at first, they think that he liked them. He gonna make them a singer, a dancer, a star, cause he fucked them. I'm telling you, this motherfucker is psychotic from what I am seeing, allegedly. Psychotic, and is a paranoid schizophrenic. He's a Dr. Jekyll and a Mr. Hyde. I seen her headbutt a bitch. Don't talk loud to him if you was a bitch now. You better talk soft to this motherfucker, because this motherfucker mind ain't good. He got some, like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality. I seen him have all type of women, all color, shape, and size, but he don't really want them. He use them as prostitutes for the elites that's passed them around. He had this lady, head-butted this lady. He was much bigger. You know, he's a stocky guy. Head-butt that lady, kneed that lady in front of some other niggas and some people. Beat that lady ass. Bit this lady. Actually, he bit around here, a bit of here, bit like a plug. And blood was every goddamn way. Wait, I'm talking about bit down like this fucker's Count Dracula in this motherfucker. And so how you like that? And start licking it. And then got a handkerchief wipe, get this bitch out of here. And when I get finished with her, we want to decide what I want to do to her. If we want to use her, whatever, we'll get some surgery, fix the bitch. Make it look like this shit never motherfucking happened. Get this bitch out of here. Look like they put her feet together. Bitch was naked. Put her hand together. Hooked her up. Look, allegedly, I know this sound crazy. Got her downstairs. I don't even want to call this a basement. It got an elevator and shit. And it got steps on one side. The way this shit was designed. It's got cement walls. Real thick cement walls that's soundproof. So if you scream or whatever, you can't hear nothing. Baby, they wasn't fighting over here for real. That's to understand. They just got paid to do that. Because that nigga really don't like women's like that. Like he was turned out and raped and sacrificed like that. So the man mind ain't good. He's not all there. He's very demonic. He's controlled by a demon. He got it downstairs. He can do anything he want to do to you, or sick them animals on you, or make you do shit with them animals. Had them hooked in there. Don't feed them. Don't halfway give them no water. Make them eat shit. Well, I don't know, Bunny. You psychic, goddammit. Hell, y'all some psychics on this motherfucker. Because I'm saying allegedly, because this shit is fucking me up. Like, you think I had to repeat? If I keep saying alleged to repeat this shit, it's NIPSEY no. The demon started telling me he's a trafficker. He's protecting and got money and working in the industry. That shit is not for real. And you know who he remind me of, akin to or similar to? DJ Khaled. They both tied into heavy mafia. And they protected. If he going to club fed, if he go do fed time, going to be club fed. He must be doing it about something else he did or didn't do. Because they know he been doing this for a long time. Remember a few years ago it came about prostitution rings and he abusing the animals in there. I don't know how you fuck a cat in the ass. I don't know what them teeth is in their mouth, how you get head from one. But he had them drugged too. And they get parts off the cat, you know, and sell them and organs off them. They do rituals on them cats. And some people like to have sex with them animals and fucks them in their ass. Lord forgive me. Allegedly, And then they fuck them women and have them women eating ways, like human ways. That's the only thing you gonna live off, bitch, because you shouldn't have made me upset, so now you on punishment, whore. And you can scream all you want to. You can scream to God, he can't hear you. Got her down there, photographed, because a lot of people like to jack they dick and get off on watching it. And then it's a part that gets, let's take to the next level, the snuff film. Some of them, they get killed. And have it on tape and sell this shit. It's a black market for this thing. They get off. No, I didn't say DJ Khaled was selling kids. That's not what I said. I said they're similar in their look and the type of organized crime and godfathers over them that control them. They can do anything they want to and move around in that industry. But you heard Kanye say when he snapped, he said DJ Khaled got killers and got shoot them. Don't send them in my head, DJ Khaled. And Jay-Z, don't do this to me now. I just want to talk. Kanye told you about DJ Khaled, how he get down. But don't put no words in my goddamn mouth. They just have to look similar to me for they kind of look or they protect it and they move around in the industry. That's what I said. I did not say that DJ Khaled fuck no damn Cheeto like Chester Cheeto on that Cheeto bag. I did not say that DJ Khaled sit up there and fuck no orangutan and shit. Don't put that on me. That's not what I said. That's not what the fuck I meant. Nah. I just said their look and their energy and how they be around black people working with them and shit. It's just similar. I think they are connected. You have to realize all these people are connected in this industry. So then I seen him smuggle them out through the underground tunnels and channels and passageway. There ain't nobody gonna tell. Ain't nobody gonna know. You ain't gonna see the motherfucker no more. And if he decide to bring you back, if you can behave and he let you out in the United States, you tell somebody, bitch, you know what's gonna happen to you next time, or your family, or that little boy you love so much, they know everything about you, all your family member, they name, where they at, they can get to their motherfucking ass. Send somebody to get to their ass. They know politicians, police, they got shit on every motherfucking body, and he is paying them polices and got shit on politicians because them they biggest client. He don't deal with regular niggas off the street to see shit like what I just described. They be people in the industry and people higher ups, and sometimes they want to kill a bitch or chase a bitch or drown a bitch, get whatever fantasy, sadistic shit. They do it, and I'm telling these people are very dangerous. This man is very dangerous and very, very protected. And I saw him overseas where they had them parties where they shit. They like to beat women, punch them, make them bleed, fist them in the ass, torture them, shit on them, make them eat shit for money. But a lot of times they don't get the money when they with him. He be pimping on that pimping. And then let me tell you how bad it gets when it's some of them they can discard it. They don't want, they use a slave. I'm talking about these are black, white, mixed, and of different races. You see a little bit of everything, but they gotta be sexy looking. If he fuck with a black bitch, she's got to be a bad bitch. They have all kind. Don't think that Molly Mall won't fuck with no black bitch now, cause he will. I'm talking about like dark brown, like chocolate to all the way up, depending on what the client want, or depending on what Molly want that day. Cause Molly Mall is real freakish and outlandish with his shit. There really ain't no limit to what he do. He don't want no bitch trying to cuff him or get locked down, cause you know his mood change like the wind. His dick swang. You know, he like orgies, and he like to be treated like a king and like a serve. Bitches be in servitude and service under him. Don't fuck up and get wrong, cause he will pull that plane over or close that door with that pilot on there and whoop that motherfucking ass. I'm talking about he will beat a bitch like a man till he like his turn. This nigga sadistic. I believe he got some black in him. He's a half-breed or something. He likes to hit a bitch all around and about here because he like to see blood. He like to turn him on to get that blood out. Lick it, get his handkerchief real like a golfer. Now bitch, go in there and clean yourself up. Get yourself together. Don't worry about it. When we tap down, I'm gonna have a surgeon or whatever you need, bitch, or a doctor, stitch your motherfucking ass up. Then I'm gonna fuck y'all. Then I'm fuck y'all in your ass, bitch. Cause you know daddy likes it. I'm gonna bust it open, wide on, bitch, and you gonna be Tatiana, bitch, and you going to drop it low. Oh, you hollering? Turn up the music. Can't nobody hear you, bitch. Don't nobody know where you at. Don't worry. When we get back, we'll put some lidocaine up in your asshole, and I'll get my surgeon to stitch that motherfucker up like it's new. We good? We good? We good? You good? We good? What? Sit your motherfucking ass up. I'm telling. This is allegedly. This is what I saw. You over there? And on countries, let me tell you another thing that made me sick. And I've heard some entertainers talk about this. What that girl named that said, I kissed a girl and I like it. I think that's the one that said, talking about eating people and got a video eating people like a delicacy, let them eating her. They fly in a special chef. Special chefs. They have them on standby. Chefs at these gourmet restaurants. Those chefs, European chefs, are specialists at cooking human flesh. Katy Perry, and she means it. You all, man, y'all better open your eyes. Because these demons coming here, I don't give a fuck how nobody tell me I'm crazy. I don't believe I'm crazy. They telling me these things go on human flesh. In the elite groups, certain flesh is a delicacy to them. They don't care what race you are. If you have a certain vibration, a certain energy, certain abilities and gifts, and they enslave certain people based on their zodiac sign that they can lure in and ain't nobody watching and they want fame and fortune real bad, and you get with, because most of those men in the industry are just like what I described, very sadistic, like to beat women, but undercover will be gay for pay, or fuck little boys, or fuck men, or get fucked. They had a chef come in at a party, allegedly, that Molly Ma was at. With other high-ranking elite people that control the industry, politics, music, and dealt with insurance and trafficking. It was a beautiful place, big chandeliers everywhere, long table with beautiful crisp white tablecloth, all type of fruit baskets and displays down this table, any kind of gourmet food you can ask for. And then the delicacy was a beautiful human body that had been washed, disemboweled, because you know you can't use the human body just like you do a deer or something. If you nick the guts and some of the waste spill out in the internal organs of the human body or the cavity, that flesh is spoiled. So you cannot use it. They clean them bodies, they hang it upside down, drain them, disembowel it very carefully, and then you have a high-level chef to know how to clean that body, season, like clean it out real good, sanitize it, season human flesh where it don't even taste. You know, it tastes like a meat, like a pork or beef or something. It's kind of, some people that ate it, I read, said it tastes like chicken. Person laid out, the way they cook and steam it, and have all kind of flowers and arrangement and shit round it. Motherfucker look like they sleep. Even though they have been cooked. They didn't deep fry this body. I don't know what they did to the body. It wasn't fried with flour, and then looked like they had baked or some kind of baking or steaming or broiling, and it was stuffed with all type of seasoning and stuff. And plant and herb inside of it. Then they close it back up like a pig. They put the seasoning and vegetable and shit in it. And closed it. Came out there on a long, beautiful tray. And then they was like, oh, how beautiful, beautiful job, and praising the chef and clapping for the chef. And the chef started slicing off like around the torso. Didn't slice up the head and stuff. Had stuff, fruit or something in the mouth, and like it was sleep, like had the eyes closed. I'm watching this shit. This how these motherfuckers get down. Yeah, that spirit cooking for real, baby. That's how they get down. He was over there at one of them. Some of them girls, when they get out of line, you will see some of them are brought just for that. Groomed for that. And then fillet. The way he cut it and sharpened that thing together, he filleted, because human flesh got layers to it. And if it's fluffy and it's very tender, very moist, you don't dig in it real deep down, take chunks. You lightly. He was filleting and slicing layers, very thin layers on top, laying it on the plate like you would do a turkey or ham at Christmas time. The meat turned kind of white, like the way it was looking, and real tender and very moist. Juice was dripping out of it. I seen that goddamn shit last night. I said, Lord, have mercy. This is, You can say this crazy, but baby, this been going on since like Rome. They roasted. They were roasted. It was a lady that they roasted. And he let some of them see that, but some of them didn't see it, that he brought over there. They was too busy prostitute. And a lot of them have nasty diseases and stuff, but they look clean and pretty. You see some of them girls on Instagram that go to Dubai and do shit like that. So when I seen that about him, I said, oh my God, they really are not going to do anything to him. If they let him lay low and arrest him, he know about the real estate fraud, wire fraud, all that stuff. He have people on the low doing that shit. Remember I had said some shit like this from Cowboy 1, Cowboy 2. I seen it coming on like months ago. I saw this. I knew what people looked like, but I didn't know all the players. And Big U shouted out Miley Ma up there on Instagram. You can see the video on YouTube and say he's sorry, he going through this and hope he get out of this. Why would you shout him out? I mean, yeah, it could have been harmless, allegedly, but I'm telling you that it's not. Because remember, I didn't mention him, but the last reading I did, part 1, said it was a big, heavy-set, older, dark-skinned man that do private extortion and lend hard money on a loan shark level, and then take their house and make them sign over their deed, or be like, yeah, well, don't let your daughter come up missing or your little boy come up missing, and then also get them tied up and wrapped and take loans, and then you don't want to pay it back. Well, you don't want it to happen to your mama or your 5-year-old little sister to come up goddamn missing, be out here and get fucked, disappear on the black market. That's what I was talking about. Okay. Let me tell you this that I thought was quite interesting about Batman. What you all don't realize is that some of these, I hope I got time to go through this. Y'all tell me what time it is in Eastern Time, ATL, because I really want to try to get you as much of this. NIPSEY told me when Nipsey, Napoleon, and Nostradamus came up, and a satellite came up in Nikola Tesla. Batman, a lot of these come from Egyptian gods. Batman is from the constellation of Sirius. That's what we don't know, which was a dog star, where a lot of black people come from, so-called black people, melanated people come from. Sirius also is one of the rulers of the sun, space, and technology. It controls earthquakes, and there's a black satellite, y'all. If y'all find it, tell me. It's a black-looking satellite, but it looks like a big old black rock. That's funny shaped, but it's kind of long, almost shaped like a wedged up pyramid. So right now it's moving close to the earth. Right now it has been detached from a grid, and they not telling us, they're not telling the public. NASA know about this big black thing. It's like a big chunk of coal, but it's kind of shaped like a pyramid, but it's long too. Kind of like a spaceship or something. It says big and black with a multi-level pyramid shape, and NASA monitors it. It's called they said the Black Knight satellite that's also dealing with earthquake. And said it is monitored, but they can't control or stop this thing. So y'all look up Black Knight satellite, and it's connected to the entity Batman that's connected to the constellation of Sirius and the sun, space and technology, and NASA. NASA just watching the thing. But they said some extraterrestrial people on this Black Knight satellite that NASA don't want over here. Why? Because they from Sirius. They can't control them. They trying to wake up their ancestors down here, and it's finna be some fucked up shit out down here, because they have tried to hurt us, control us, and done it for so long, and it's going to shake this planet. Look at strange phenomenon and shit. Like I say, happening with ley lines opening, volcanoes, and earthquake, and real bad shifts with this fine shit that's going to destroy a lot of land, and land going to start opening up in California. Y'all could be getting it wrong, but I'm going to tell y'all anyway. So it's another satellite that is detached and headed toward Earth, and it's a 5G satellite that is full of dangerous radiation, where people are going to be losing their minds, getting more disease from the water, and animals coming from deep in the water on top, floating dead from cancer and 5G technology. They're going to surround the earth with more satellite with 5G and trying to block out the sun and misdirecting the rods of energy from the sun, changing the temperature, changing the time that sun hits the earth, and damaging people's eyes. And then with Batman, also what comes up is Osiris. You're dealing with the Human Federation. When you're dealing with Batman, you deal with airplanes and all electronics dealing with Batman energy, that entity. And you're dealing with the Human Federation dealing with Osiris, Navy ships, and underworld navigation systems in the ship underground. You're also dealing with Mayan culture, Mesoamerican bat god, Camazotz. I might be pronouncing that wrong. Comazotz. And they start breaking up the gang territory of LA when they're showing me Batman, and you're also dealing with the Joker and Azazel and skinheads. You have this territory, regions, and jurisdiction, and say that they are secretly letting some of these skinheads out of jail, and that are also dealing with federal traffickers. They're going to let these loose in LA to wreak havoc and deal with racial shit. Even dealing with gang shit. But y'all, ain't nobody gonna know this where they coming from. They secretly letting them out to release them on the mass population of black and brown. This is a secret project with police and dealing with bank robbery and wiretapping and bank fraud. Obviously, also is coming up here. That this is what I wrote weeks ago that I didn't get to. And they said, do not swim or fish in certain oceans. Be very careful of the seafood y'all eat out there in LA, because you have to find a way to get it sanitized before eating it. And said, what is it? Is it bad or warm or brought from out of the country in LA? Yeah, they said it's a worm or something that's coming from out of the country in LA that lives inside of lobster, crab, and shrimp and oyster and other raw fishes. That's not always killed through cooking. So I don't know what that means, y'all, but I'm just saying it anyway. And it's also coming through music, sex, drugs, and it's missing and murdered people from LA inside these rings. And they're trying to redistribute the drugs out there. Because, you know, weed is on top and it's legal, but they're also dealing with imports of coke, meth, heroin, oxy, and that's also increasing STDs and diseases out there are going to start popping up in California with no cure. This is being done on purpose. And so the drug trade is very high in some areas, in drug wars and violence. They're trying to initiate these things right now. Now human trafficking, kidnapping, and trade agreements that they're working on. They've been doing this for a while. I mentioned this before, but now they're really trying to ramp it up and look for a massive disease release that is airborne through earth trauma, which is what's going on out there now, and air trauma with chemical warfare, earth trauma from fires and abuse of plants and animal poison from water, disease, and through the air, ancestral disrespect by digging up the graves out there in LA and destroying the graves. And say in these areas where the fire and a lot of stuff has been damaged, people have been stealing body parts and jewelry, things that have been left. And they do this too when they build in a certain area. They digging up ancestors, and the ancestors are very upset, so they're going to pay for this. And now the dead are walking the earth, and I saw a lot of dead children from these trafficking and sexual rapes and drug abuse, where they done kidnapped these children and had these, they said, satanic and demonic sex rings. The children are now up and walking the earth out there in LA, and they're seeking revenge from murder and cannibalizing off of the flesh. And so the demons are turning on a lot of these people that sold their soul to get these deals. In Hollywood, it's about time. So more scandal is going to come out, more corruption is going to come out and reveal, because for some reason their time is up and these demons are turning on these people. And there's also poison in the ocean and these food, the seafood from these airplanes, dropping chunks of human waste out them airplane down into these oceans. Chemicals in the air, water, and food is destroying these areas, and it's being released through this fire too, stuff in this land, and a lot of toxicities that have now become airborne microorganisms and parasites that are moving miles away from where this started and will cause a lot of upper respiratory problems, diseases, famine, sick dogs. They say there are sick dogs running the street with diseases, and other sick animals with rabies and waterborne diseases. So y'all that are in Cali or that watch the news, tell me if I'm getting anything wrong. Okay, and then we deal with Superman, and Superman dealing with the kryptonite, That will be talking about the black man's melanin and the eruption, the abruption and abortion of the melanin, and who is also Superman, the kryptonite. Superman is the son of God that's ruled by the algorithm of what? He has to have the sun, and what damages his weakness is kryptonite. But you need to also look into the deeper essence of the kryptonite and what they use to attack the melanin man. So, and also the Ace of Spades came up here when we're dealing with Superman and them attacking the algorithm of the man and attacking the melanin of Superman. And this was a guard creation. Superman is over the guarding creation of supersonic wave patterns and systemic boom patterns underground. And Superman is the son of God and master of the heavens, ruler of the son of God and sons of man / gods, creator and the ruler over satellites, GPS tracking devices, biometric scanners, RFID chips, surgical implantation devices, police, drug dealing, vice, prison, industrial complex, GMO, murder, body part, sales, black market organs, shopping and swapping of organs, DNA tagging and cloning devices like Dolly the sheep. Because you know they have cloned animals and cloned humans and even chimeras where they're mixing human and animal DNA. Superman influenced by the Egyptian falcon head god Horus, also Horus/Haru associated with the sun. Horus/Haru lost his father, as did Superman. Both figures came to Earth from an advanced civilization to escape from destruction. The theme of resurrection is said to be present in both stories. At Horus/Haru is claimed to have resurrected twice as Asar and then Osiris, and as an infant, while Superman also died and was resurrected in the storyline. Okay, good. What time is it, y'all? I did get some of this in because I had been holding this for weeks and didn't get it in. I mean, I've been reading, so I didn't see all of the time. What time is it, y'all? Okay, next I got to read you about Spider-Man. I don't know if I have time. I'm probably going to have to do part 3 in a couple of days because I got to go back to the loans and that stuff. What time is it, y'all? Because I feel like I've been on here a while and I got to break some more down to y'all. I'm not finished. Who can tell me the time? Eastern 2:20. Oh shit, I gotta go. It's 2:30, y'all. I know I came on late because I was still working on this and getting ready. I'm going to come back and give you part 3, and then I'll probably have some more information by then. So give me a couple of days so that I can hear what else Prince has to say, and what else I have to finish. I see what Sammy Davis has to say. Some of the other people that came up in here. So I hope you all found this very interesting, like I found it. I'm honored that they speak to me and share this information with me, and I want to share. I know I don't have to share it with you, but I want to share it with you, especially since I know so many of you all that want to hear what I have to say. You love the people I'm doing the readings on, and I'm glad nobody came up and asked me, why did I bring these in NIPSEY reading? Because I know most of you are very psychic, very intuitive, and you all understand why other people come up in certain people's readings. These are people that are very powerful in the industry, were alive in bodies, very powerful, very wealthy, very successful in the music and business and finance part of the industry, as well as the occult level of the industry, and got caught up in a lot of these things. Just like I still have to see what Sam has to say about NIPSEY. They got up out of the graves and they were near him. Thank you all for confirming that Sam Cooke and Sammy Davis were in the same graveyard as NIPSEY. I know Aretha is in Detroit with my father. My father's also in Detroit with his mom. But it's something must be going on in Atlanta for Aretha to speak to me in Atlanta. And, you know, Whitney Houston lived in Atlanta and loved Atlanta, her and Bobby. So this is like home. She's very comfortable. So I have to hear what else they messy ass. And I love Aretha. I grew up listening to Aretha. I love Whitney. So even though they messy, I'm honored that they speak to me. Very, very honored. And thank you all for loving me, supporting me, donating to me, getting private readings from me. You can email me if you want to get private readings from me, but I'm going to get it right back on this tomorrow. I just need to get some rest and, you know, not abuse myself. Really take care of myself and get some rest and come back in a couple of days. If you let me come back in a couple of days, I promise you I'm going to finish it because I love this reading and it ties into NIPSEY. I love that so many people love him on that side and on this side and that are coming back to help him. So thank you for listening to this part 2 of AKT Celebrity Reads. I love you all. Thank you for being here and supporting me. I always have fun. Have a good time with you all when I'm live. And I will be back soon. Okay. And click like and share my video. And I'm going to put it up on YouTube in a couple of days. Okay. I love y'all. I will be back soon with part 3.